To ensure improved productivity of the workforce, the Bureau of Public Service Reforms is partnering a non-governmental organization through entrepreneurship training. Onoze Yakubu was at the signing of Memorandum of Understanding and now reports.
This crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's between the Bureau of Public Service Reforms and the chosen vessel Global Outreach is a win-win partnership geared towards improving the well-being and welfare of the Nigerian public servants, even after retirement. This will involve the NGO equipping the workforce with the requisite vocational and other entrepreneurship training for self-reliance.
We want to bring out the best in them by them, looking inward and receiving some kind of rehabilitation and reorientation that would help them to stop the things that were being done that didn't help the productivity of the workforce.
Provide trainings that will benefit those retiring, like trainings in poultry, trainings in animal husbandry, farming, digital currency, and whatever.
The two parties are optimistic that this partnership will improve the working environment of the public servants in the country. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Lowered professional standards, negligence on the side of professionals in the construction of industry, among other anomalies, have been identified as factors responsible for building collapse in the country. This came to light at the second quarterly press briefing of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners in Abuja. Ifoma Ojinta reports.
Experts in the built environment say Nigeria's journey to infrastructural development has been a long and slow one because the intentions towards development have not been well articulated through planning.
Effective measures must be established for city physical development administration. We also want to draw the attention of Nigerians and governments at all levels that the rainy season is around the corner. It is better now to start the processes and activities that will make us avoid or mitigate flooding rather than to wait for the disaster.
The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners harps on the need for government and other policy makers to engage the services of town planners for sustainable development, as this will go a long way in addressing incidences of building collapse, flooding, and unplanned development.
Buildings collapse even outside this country. Even in developed nations, they collapse. But the age of our own collapse is too early. Let civil servants or professionals, particularly in government, let them be trained, because the whole essence of development or the power to allow development or enforce it resides in government.
The briefing also lends its voice to the need for rancor-free elections, calling on the government and the incoming administration to enforce city management and building control standards, as well as engage at all times experts in the Organization for Land Development. Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Looking at how to enhance and strengthen capacity of civil societies in the West African sub-region was the thrust of a training held in Abuja. Aisho Bali reports that the West African Civil Society Forum organized the one-day meeting for civil societies in the country.
They are from different civil society groups, but with the same vision of contributing positively to the growth and development of Nigeria. Another issue on its own.
Government needs to create
Another issue on its own.
Government needs to create a very good framework, for the civil society. As we have today, we have some civil society that are political, which is not supposed to be.
Accessing funds and grants for civil societies to function optimally also formed part of this capacity training for the participants. However, using the funds judiciously was crossed of the meeting.
So I am calling on my fellow NGOs, CSOs, that they should please, when they get these grants, they should try and do what? And utilize it.
WACSOF has members from 15 member states of West Africa. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
And on the political scene, presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has reiterated his resolve for a new Nigeria when voted as the president in the February election. He stated this during the Labour Party presidential campaign in Abuja. Hawa Gimba reports from the Old Parade Ground.
In continuation of the nationwide campaign, party stalwarts, groups and supporters of the Labour Party converged on the Old Parade Ground for the Abuja rally, canvassing support for the victory of the party and the forthcoming elections. Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi told supporters that he represents capacity, character and competence for the job of Nigeria's president, saying his vision is anchored on building a productive society. He expressed readiness to address security, economy and social challenges in the country. Speakers, one after another, appealed to Nigerians to vote for the Labour Party, promising equal opportunity for all, irrespective of tribe or religion.
Nigeria has developed to the extent we are no longer voting tribe, we are no longer voting religion, we are no longer voting money bags, we are voting competence.
Significant thing is that Peter Obi has made the job of Labour Party simplified. That it has become organic to the extent that citizens of Nigeria on their own promote Labour Party.
The engagement by party leaders also sensitized the people on the need to guard their PVC for the elections. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as political parties intensify efforts to woo the electorate in the forthcoming general elections, FCT Minister of State has described the APC presidential candidate, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the vanguard of women empowerment above other candidates. This was at the Train the Trainers Summit organized by Nigerian Women Unite for Tinubu Shetima held at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Ifeanyi Izumba reports.
The Minister of State FCT, Ramatu Tijani Aliu, affirmed that the support given to wife of APC presidential candidate Senator Oluremi Tinubu is a demonstration of Asiwaju's commitment to giving political space to women.
Nigerian women that are resolute from all walks of life to stand solidly behind the candidature of the great APC. That is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Kashim Shetima ticket.
Wife of the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, speaks on her husband's commitment to giving attention to the ordinary women in the communities through the provision of micro, small and medium enterprises.
And 35% affirmative action. I support it, but only with a condition. There are some women who have done well in government.
She further promised to restore the Fund Family Support Program as well as enhance child nutrition, among others. Fanny Izumba, NT News.
You're watching the 1 p.m. news reaching you from NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Up ahead. While some FCT traditional rulers call for more attention on issue of gender-based violence and rape. This and more after the break.
News as a commodity is our trade. When it breaks in the FCT and environs, our team of professional reporters will definitely be there. NTA Channel 5 Abuja News, using news to connect the grassroots people with the newsmakers and uniting the nation. We serve you the depths of news in politics, economy, education, health, security, infrastructure, even in times of emergencies. Always join our news build at 1 and 7 p.m. daily to be informed of the latest and current happenings. Our on-air personalities are the professionals you desire on the screen. NTA Channel 5 Abuja News, telling you the real news, verifiable and factual, with no room for fake news.
Thanks for staying. Calm has returned to Takushara Community, Abuja Municipal Area Council area, 2 days after the crisis that erupted between local miners and a mining company operating the nearby village. Odiri Oboru Arutere brings us an update.
Normalcy is beginning to return to Takushara village after the crisis which occurred in the community in the early hours of Monday, 5th February 2023, while 2 people were killed, others injured, and property destroyed. The Makama of Takushara, Ahmed Tonko Uma, narrates the cause of the incident.
I was somewhere when they called me that mining officers were in the site where the community are working, because it is mining activities that lead to the existence of this community.
Meanwhile, Sapei Garki Nga Kupe acknowledged that the matter was brought to his notice.
Right from inception, I've warned our people there. Once you know you don't have a license, don't go there.
Families of those killed in the crisis are still mourning their loss.
They ought to pay us the compensation. They must pay. If they do not pay, God is ultimate.
We saw some people come in, first of all with the civil defense. Like the next 30 minutes, we now saw some military people surround us. They took us, they arrested us, put us under inhuman condition.
Some members of the community, reportedly held hostage by the mining company on Monday morning, were said to have been released, while some are said to be in detention at the Kabusa Police Division in Abuja. Odiri Ogboru, Arutere, NTA News.
Wives of traditional rulers in the 6 area councils of their city say traditional justice should be given more attention, especially on issues of gender-based violence and rape. They were speaking at a press conference in Karushi Palace. Hawagimba reports.
This is not the first time women here will converge to learn more on gender issues. The wives of traditional rulers consider such matters of rape, abuse of the girl child, and violence as a danger to societal development and a matter that must be condemned by all. Adequate education on these issues will therefore very paramount. Representative of the President, wife of the Serkin Karshi, Hajia Alima Muhammad, outlined guidelines for women such as providing palace reporting tools for sexual and gender-based violence, setting up virtual reporting dashboard for cases, training wives and secretaries on how to support survivors of gender-based violence and rape.
This effort is intensified by Chrysler with support from John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation for various initiatives that seeks to strengthen the original inhabitants' traditional justice system to combat sexual and gender-based violence, as a result of which, 1. We facilitated the creation of a self-regulated code of standards.
Wife of the Sapei of Gorki, Hanatunga, appealed to stakeholders to support the FCT traditional ruler's wife to stop gender-based violence. She appealed for all hands to be on deck against such evil practices while ensuring the development of indigenous women.
Speak out and call our hotline, Traditional Rulers' Wives in FCT. We'll take it up.
The NBA is quite interested in the human rights of all Nigerians and also women.
For studies have shown that mentally, physically, and emotionally, children still need to grow.
The press conference had representatives from NAPTIP and other support groups who advocate the cause of women facing sexual and gender-based violence in the grassroots. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Globally, the effects of climate change are already being felt through increasingly severe and extreme weather conditions in Nigeria. It is no different as Hakimat Aliu speaks 6 health tips and current realities with the weather.
Experts have attributed the fluctuations of weather conditions to climate change. While the Harmattan season winds down with its cold, dryness and dust, many recently are expressing concerns on the extreme heat.
Appeared like we have this heat wave. Like the walls normally absorb this heat during the day. At night, they'll be emitting it.
Compared to last month or a few weeks back, and at night again it's hot. Like yesterday night, I felt the heat actually, and there was no light that I could put on my gen, so the weather was a little.
As you can see, it's very hot, so most times we try to be indoors and stay hydrated as much as possible.
A public health expert, Dr. Dan Gazama, speaks on illnesses that result from the hot weather, such as heat stroke, kidney stone, amongst others.
Can lead to easy dehydration as you lose fluid and salt from the body. Okay, and can make you get tired easily. Can even make people faint. We call it heat fatigue, a syncope, and even heat stroke. Okay, and these are possible, especially if you are working outdoors.
He advises precaution, especially with dehydration that comes with it.
Try to stay indoors as much as possible, and then take a lot of fluid and water constantly, probably twice the normal requirements. Probably you need up to 5 liters. Okay, by that you keep the hydration level normal, and the system would function normally.
Contrary to the practice by many on having frequent bath with cold water during the heat, this is said to bring down body temperature, causing more troubles. Dr. Dan says it is better to bathe with lukewarm water, ensuring your space is well ventilated and wearing light clothing. This helps you to stay healthy while experiencing the heat waves. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
On business news, we now join Aisha Obali.
Investors gained 69 billion naira in value as market capitalization went up to 29.645 trillion naira. Thanks for joining us on the business news segment. I am Aisha Obali. Oil marketers say the supply of premium motor spirit has not yet stabilized, and this is why queues are still prevalent in many parts of the country. Reacting to the statement, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, says the fuel queues would clear in 1 week. The marketers expressed optimism, but insists that it would be tough to enforce the 195,000 naira per litre government-approved price at all filling stations. Ipman had promised that it had set aside about 140 million litres of PMS for members of the association in a bid to address their fuel supply challenges. Ipman observes that there are those who bought product at higher rates and government is telling them to sell at the government-approved rate, and that there will be enforcement, which of course is going to be difficult to implement. It is a challenge as far as we are concerned. The Nigerian stock market rebounded after previous day's pullback as investors' profits rose by 69 billion naira. The all-share index grew by 107.29 absolute points, representing a gain of 0.23% to close at 54,427.05 points. Accordingly, investors gained 69 billion naira in value as market capitalization went up to 29.645 trillion.
Is for the technical issue. And now to sports.
After 3 weeks of camping and solidifying preparations through tactics and matches, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria under-20 team depart for Egypt ahead of the 17th edition of the African Cup of Nations. The 7-time champions will face Egypt, Senegal and Mozambique in Group A. Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail following the suspension of national sprint record holder Divine Oduduru by the Athletics Integrity Unit AIU over 2 counts of anti-doping violations.
This will serve as a lesson for other athletes going forward, the upcoming ones, and even the ones still active right now, that they watch what they eat, watch the kind of medications they use, the kind of drink they put into their system.
It's quite a sad one and low moments for Nigerian sports. Nigerian athletes should always try to keep their integrity high because they know that the Athletes Integrity Unit exists.
No good news that Divine Udumuvu has been asked to get 6 years. It is time we protect our African integrity.
Tennis. Nigeria's table tennis star Aruna Quadri admits Russian Premier Table Tennis League is quite competitive, saying even unranked players are difficult to play against. Quadri has won 100% of his matches so far, securing a 3rd-round victory for his club. He, however, appreciates his club's selection of players and mates who are also doing well. With Sports Brief, Gideon Yohana, NTA News.
And just before we go, a recap of the top stories. FCT Minister of State has extolled the virtues of the APC presidential candidate, Senator Bola Tinubu, describing him as a vanguard of women empowerment. Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has reiterated his resolve for a new Nigeria if voted into power. And that's the news. We thank you for watching. Good afternoon.